Hi guys, my name is Tiffany Davis. I am the co-founder and managing director for Red Hook Art Project. I'm from Red Hook, Brooklyn. This is my community. I'm standing right now in front of Jamit Bistro, which is located at 367 Columbia Street, which is the only Black-owned restaurant in the neighborhood. And Dawn Skeet was the lovely woman who allowed us to put our beautiful community refrigerator outside of her restaurant. And we're super excited about that. As we know, we are in a crisis right now. It is COVID. And we knew during COVID there were some things that we needed to change and shift within our organization. So one of the things was to help our community around food insecurity. We have a lot of immigrants in this community, and we definitely know that they have lost their jobs. A lot of our immigrants have jobs such as nanny jobs and house cleaning, and those jobs was no longer available once this pandemic hit, and we knew that we could no longer meet in person. So we knew that we had to reach out and bring resources to our community to make sure that we can get food into the hands of those who truly need it, and also to the hands of those who were just facing some challenging times. So right now yesterday we had a drop off from one of our food pantries who brought in some frozen meals that we was able to put in over 300 meals that was distributed yesterday, and some went into the refrigerator. And as I walked up today, I realized that there's a lot that went out yesterday. So you can tell that there are individuals who need these meals and they walk over. And we also have a men's shelter that's right around the corner. And sometimes, unfortunately, they run out of food. So this refrigerator also helps feed them, as well as our families with children. This is a refrigerator that was brought to us by #LunchBagBrooklyn. They are an organization that before COVID, what they do is every last Sunday of the month, they get a bunch of volunteers to come together. We meet in a space and we make 500 sandwiches. We bag them with water, apples, and cookies, and our students draw on those lunch bags, and then we hit the streets of Brooklyn to distribute to those who may be in need and those who are just hungry, just bypassing, and just maybe giving somebody something can make them smile. You never know what a person is going through, so that meal, that bag with that artwork uplifts and inspires others, and it may allow some other person to see what we're doing, and they'll get involved and bring resources where it's needed. I started calling restaurants. I use social media to connect with individuals and families in the community. I started using hashtags, and this is how other people started to see the work that I was doing. Black Mountain Wine House got involved. They came back to me and say, hey, I would like to be in support. So I said, these are the ways that you can be of support. If your restaurant is closing down, and if you have food that you know that's going to go to waste, let's not let that happen. Let me pick up those items and let me distribute that through the neighborhood. And then we had other restaurants reach out to me, and I reached out to other restaurants and other food distributors and vendors, and even church in our neighborhood, Core Redemption Church, who's been doing a lot of community work. You know, they reached out to their resources of different churches that had access to bring food into this community. And they came in and they brought more food, so the line started to increase and we started to serve more people. And that's when a few other people reached out to me and said that these are some of the things that they never even thought about or never even registered to them, that what is an ally? Where could I fit in? Where can I be of services? And how can I take the seat in the back and allow you to lead? So I went on there, I did a Facebook Live. So that's how Hometown Barbecue, Mitch Roslin, he got involved. He sent me a personal message, and that Facebook Live opened up his heart and opened up his mind to see the story behind a Black woman. And that's something that he respected, and to this day, he still every Sunday provides me 150 to 200 hot meals to distribute to the community every Sunday. So let's take a tour through the Red Hook community. So this is the Regency. This is another community event space that allows us to use their space for our business address. So we also do distributions from this location as well. And also we have our beautiful outdoor library where students and adults can come and pick up books. And this is also brought to us by #LunchBagBrooklyn. This is actually with the community residents who live here. And this is also a meat location where we distribute our hometown barbecue meals every Sunday. All of these artworks was taken by a local resident named Alden. He highlighted everyone who obviously inspired him and all of the work that was being done in the community, and highlighting people's faces that may have been overlooked. We all know that art sends a great message, art is healing, and when people saw this artwork go up in the community, it just inspired so many people to see the faces of people that they know is doing the work. So I'm happy for the village that we have created and this community to continue to provide inspiration and to give people grit to go out there to believe in themselves and to have faith, and because all things are possible when all hands are in. Look around the park. If you look at the giraffes and then you look behind you, you will see a church. And then you will see the church right here as well on the giraffe. And these are all done by students from the age 12 to about 13 at the time. So this is also another piece that was done by the youth in the community. Red Hook Initiative, the Red Hook Justice Center is responsible for bringing these children together and having them tell part of their story or tell part of what inspires them in the community or maybe a moment that they were going through. So many emotions. So to see these children's faces that I recognize, it's on here, it's uplifting. So if it's uplifting to me, imagine their siblings, their families. So these are the things that I want to see in the community. Art is important, and to have the children be the leaders in the face of what's going up in the community, I think is going to bring a lot of attention to our next generation of students on how to be productive and engaged citizenships. And to see these children be resilient, and you see these children outside still playing, still going about their business and carrying so much. This is why I'm out here, why I do what I do. They are the inspiration, they are the air I breathe. So this is Red Hook's Art Project home. We currently moved from this location on January 15th this year, due to the different challenges and crises we were in. But before the pandemic hit, we did realize that we wanted a much bigger space so students can do bigger projects and we can serve more students. So I am the co-founder and managing director for Red Hook Art Project. Red Hook Art Project first student is my son, Tashawn Davis. He's now a phenomenal artist, social media influencer. You can follow him at I Am Waffle. A woman named Deirdre Swords, who used to live in the community, she was volunteering at a local school. She was volunteering doing academics, math and reading, but by heart, she's an artist. She recognized my son's talent and immediately started to get connected to my son and give him personal art classes outside in Coffey Park, later on in her home, and then later on in my home. At the time, I really wasn't engaged in a whole conversation around her giving my son art classes because I come from so many lacks and so many lack of education that I said, you want my son to sit here and draw? Are you kidding me? He needs to understand reading and math and how to write. Those was my main focus. But one day, he and Deirdre, they sat in my apartment and my son did a recopy from something from the Sistine Chapel. And when I see him do that, I was blown away. That's all I needed to see, hands down. So I started to get more engaged with his art stuff. One day, my son just was like, I'm bored. I want to bring some of my friends. And by surprise, when he brought his friends were artists. So it was just like a group of boys that was just artists, and Deirdre decided, let's give them some classes. And it was just giving them classes to keep them engaged, keep them off the streets, to keep them happy, to keep them conversating. But Deirdre had this bigger idea. She's like, we gotta get these kids to art high schools and colleges. We gotta build portfolios. So I looked at her and I said, well, that's something I can't afford. I don't come from that world. And she said, well, we're gonna take care of these things. We're gonna create a nonprofit that's going to help us help these children. And that's when we started to canvass the Red Hook neighborhood, Deirdre reaching out to her network of artists and bringing in people who wanted to give back in the art way to help these children build portfolios. So that's pretty much how we got started. They built art and music portfolios, and we took them to these auditions to apply for these art schools, and by surprise, they got accepted. And they're now phenomenal artists, social media influencer, have been in movies, commercials, doing a bunch of commissions and meeting different big time artists. So it's really inspiring to see them continue that path. But as they got older, we got new students. And as the new students came in, the era changes, right? We have some students that's struggling academically. So that's when we started to say, let's bring in academic supporters who can sit down with our students for 2 hours a day and support them with homework help or whatever issue they may be struggling with during school. So that's how we started with expanding the program, bringing in individuals who can help with academics. And then we realized, me as a struggling mom, going through so many different challenges, I was seeing a social worker to help me with some of my issues that I was going through, so that way I can continue to be a leader and lead by example. So I asked this organization, nonprofit, which is called Children of Promise. They're located in the Bed-Stuy community. I asked them, can they partner with us to bring in social workers to support our students and families? And that's how we expanded that part of the program to bring in stress management. We have to realize that art is a basic human right and everyone should have access. We service Hispanic, Asian, Chinese, Black American, and white American students from the age 7 to the age 21. Our whole goal is to serve the whole child well-being, build a long-lasting, impactful relationships, and have them come back and do the same thing for the next generation of students. One of my challenges that I find to be the things that keep us divided in this country that we're not focusing on is when you say that this program is for Black and brown people. That means that you're already telling Black and brown people that they're not capable or worthy of anything else, and you telling white students that they are better than these students because we have more. The goal is to bring everybody in the same space to get to learn and understand each other, understand different walks of lives and communication, what are our stigmas, what are language barriers. You know, those are the things that need to happen. The only how to create that is to create space and programs that is effective for everyone as a whole. Having an opportunity to be a co-founder for a nonprofit and be a parent and show up for my children's education is one of the things that I am so grateful for, because coming from so many lacks, everything could have happened so wrong. I know firsthand in my testimony, in my blood, spirit, and soul, that art saves lives. It will be such a shame to have fed our community for a whole year of this crisis to go back in person and not continue that work. So in order to do that, these are the things that we're going to need the community and allies and people around the world to help and support us do. People can go to our website, which is www.redhookproject.org, and they can hit the donate button. We have 3 different categories. You can help us with a space, you can purchase art kits, or you can purchase a hot meal from Jamit Bistro for a family. And we will send that family there to pick up those meals. My American dream, whew. I have so many dreams, man. How do we support insecurity around food? And how do we allow people to shop for food with dignity and for free? So my biggest thing, what I'm trying to do is put a commercial kitchen in Red Hook where conversations can start and people can eat with dignity. So that's one of the things that is my American dream, is to start that in the Red Hook, Brooklyn community, and hopefully that other people around the 5 boroughs and around the world will see that this is happening and will repeat it.